Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic and underrated coins in American history. A coin you might have in a jar, in a drawer, or even sitting right now in your pocket. The 1964 D. Lincoln penny. It looks like any ordinary 1-cent coin. But what if I told you that one rare version of this exact penny has reportedly sold for a staggering $1.7 million? That's right, one single penny, worth more than most luxury homes. So what's the story behind this coin? What makes the 1964 D. Lincoln penny so valuable, and how can you tell if the one you have is worth more than just a cent? Let's break it down. The Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909, created to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person's face. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original version had wheat ears on the reverse, which lasted until 1958. In 1959, the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. That design remained on the penny until 2008. Now let's talk about 1964. This was a year of major transition for the U.S. Mint. The country was dealing with a coin shortage. Silver prices were climbing, and the demand for coins was outpacing the supply. In response, the Mint ramped up production like never before. The Denver Mint alone struck over 3 billion Lincoln pennies in 1964. That's an enormous number. In fact, it was one of the highest mintage years in Lincoln cent history. So if there were billions of these coins made, how could any of them be worth $1 million? That's where things get interesting. First, not all 1964 D pennies are the same. Most are worth face value, yes, but some carry hidden secrets that only trained eyes can spot. The key lies in mint errors, rare variations, and off-metal strikes. Let's start with the most famous and most valuable type. The 1964 D. Lincoln penny that was struck on a silver planchet. Now this is not supposed to happen. Lincoln cents in 1964 were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. But in rare cases, a silver planchet meant for a dime may have accidentally slipped into the penny production line. These types of mint errors are known as off-metal errors. They are extremely rare, but when discovered, they cause a sensation among collectors. One such 1964 D. Lincoln penny was authenticated by experts and confirmed to be struck on a silver dime planchet. The color was off, the weight was different, and the appearance was unlike any regular penny. This coin sparked a bidding war and was eventually sold in a private transaction for a reported $1.7 million. That kind of sale is extremely rare. But it proves that these coins can be worth life-changing money when the right error and the right condition come together. So what should you be looking for first? Check the mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint. It's located just below the year 1964 on the front of the coin. That tells you the coin was struck in Denver. Next, look at the surface. A typical 1964 D penny should have a reddish copper tone. But if it looks silver, gray, or off in color, that could be your first clue. Weight is another big clue. A standard copper penny from 1964 should weigh about 3.11 grams. A dime planchet, on the other hand, weighs about 2.5 grams. So if your 1964 D penny feels light or weighs under 3 grams on a scale, you might have something very special. If you don't have a scale at home, you can get a cheap digital jewelry scale online that reads to 2 decimal places. That small investment could help you discover a rare treasure. Now, beyond off-metal errors, there are other varieties of the 1964 D penny worth money too. One of the most well-known is the double die obverse. This is when the design on the front of the coin was struck twice by accident, creating a noticeable doubling in the words Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date. While not as valuable as the silver planchet strike, a strong double die error from 1964 can still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its condition. Also keep an eye out for repunched mint marks. That's when the D mint mark was hand-punched more than once and ended up slightly overlapping or crooked. These errors are less dramatic but still collectible and can bring in good money. Condition matters too. A heavily circulated coin will never bring the same price as a coin in mint state. Coins that are bright, shiny, and show no signs of wear will always be more desirable to collectors. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can bring premium prices, even without errors. But remember this: never clean your coin. Cleaning a coin may make it look shinier, but it destroys its natural surface and lowers its value instantly. If you believe you have something rare, the best thing to do is keep it safe and send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can verify its authenticity and assign it a grade, which can dramatically increase your chances of selling it for a high price. So to sum it up, the 1964 D Lincoln penny is one of the most common coins in circulation. But hidden among the billions are a few rare examples that are worth thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in the most extreme case, over $1.7 million. These coins are not just pieces of metal. They're pieces of history. And they could be sitting unnoticed in your home right now. So go check your change jars. Dig through your old coin collections. Look at every 1964 D penny with a little more attention. Because you never know. You just might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever struck. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin facts and collecting tips, and leave a comment below if you've ever come across an unusual penny in your collection. Until next time, happy hunting and keep checking your change. Let me know if you'd like help with the title, thumbnail text, or tags for your YouTube upload. I can also write versions with scene suggestions or teleprompter formatting. Welcome back to the rarest coins. Today we're uncovering the incredible story of the 1965 Lincoln penny. It's one of the most common coins ever produced in the United States. Billions were made. Most people see them every day and never think twice. But believe it or not, one rare version of the 1965 penny has been valued at up to $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1-cent coin. $1.6 million. So how is this even possible? What makes this ordinary-looking penny so valuable? And could you be sitting on a coin worth a fortune? Let's dive deep into the fascinating history, rare errors, and hidden secrets behind the 1965 Lincoln penny. First, let's start with some historical context. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure. For the first 50 years, the reverse side showed 2 wheat stalks. But starting in 1959, that design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, where it remained until 2008. Now jump ahead to 1965. It was a year of massive transition at the United States Mint. Just the year before, in 1964, silver prices had skyrocketed, leading to a major coin shortage. Americans were hoarding coins, especially dimes, quarters, and half dollars, because they contained real silver. In response, the government made a drastic move. Starting in 1965, the mint eliminated silver from dimes and quarters completely and began using a copper-nickel-clad composition instead. That year also marked another change. The mint temporarily removed mint marks from all coins. So if you look at a 1965 penny, you'll notice something missing. There is no mint mark, not even a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. That was done intentionally to prevent collectors from hoarding coins based on where they were minted. Now, the 1965 Lincoln penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Over 1.5 billion of these coins were produced. That means most 1965 pennies are only worth 1 cent, maybe a few cents in excellent condition. But some, thanks to extraordinary minting mistakes and extreme rarity, are worth thousands, and in one shocking case, even over $1.5 million. So what should you look for? Let's talk about the most valuable and rare version of the 1965 Lincoln penny, the one struck on a silver planchet. This is what collectors call an off-metal error. It happens when a blank metal disc mint for a completely different coin accidentally gets fed into the wrong press. During the transition from silver to clad coinage, the U.S. Mint was dealing with massive amounts of planchets and coin blanks. It was absolute chaos behind the scenes. And in that confusion, a few leftover silver dime planchets were mistakenly used to strike Lincoln cents. Now imagine this. A 1965 penny, but instead of copper, it's silver. It looks different. It feels different. It even weighs differently. A standard 1965 copper penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. But if you find one that weighs around 2.5 grams, it could have been struck on a silver dime blank. That's a massive red flag and a sign that you could be holding a one-of-a-kind mint error. One such coin was discovered in nearly perfect condition. It was authenticated by one of the top grading services in the world. Experts confirmed it was struck on a 90% silver planchet. Its surfaces were clean, Its details were sharp, and the error was absolutely undeniable. It was later sold in a private collector's auction for an unbelievable $1.6 million. That sale shocked the numismatic community and sparked renewed interest in 1965 pennies. Suddenly, collectors everywhere began searching their change for off-metal errors, hoping to discover the next million-dollar cent. Now, that was the rarest version. But there are other valuable errors to look for too. Another type is the double die obverse. This is when the die that strikes the coin was engraved twice, slightly misaligned. This causes noticeable doubling in the text and sometimes in Lincoln's image itself. On the 1965 penny, the doubling is usually found on the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date. While not as rare as a silver planchet strike, a strong double die penny from 1965 in mint state condition can sell for several $1,000s. Then there's the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned inside the press, causing part of the design to appear shifted or even missing. A 1965 penny that's 50 to 80% off-center, especially if the date is still visible, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the condition. Also be on the lookout for clipped planchets. These are coins that were struck on incomplete blanks, causing a missing chunk to be visible on one side. Again, the value depends on how dramatic the error is and how well the coin has been preserved. So how can you tell if your 1965 penny is valuable? First, weigh it. A regular penny from that year should weigh 3.11 grams. If your coin weighs around 2.5 grams, that's your first clue that it might be a rare off-metal error. Second, examine the color. Silver or grayish tones on a 1965 penny could mean it was struck on the wrong planchet. Third, use a magnifying glass to check the text for signs of doubling, especially on the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Fourth, look at the shape. If the design is off-center, incomplete, or has a chunk missing, it could be a valuable mint error. And finally, never clean your coin. Cleaning a rare coin damages its surface and instantly lowers its value. If you think you have something special, send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate it and give it a grade that helps you understand its real market value. To wrap it all up, the 1965 Lincoln penny is one of the most common coins ever made. But hidden among the billions are a few that are truly extraordinary. Rare mint errors, off-metal strikes, one-of-a-kind pieces. And yes, one of them is already sold for a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. So go through your old jars. Check your pocket change. Look through your childhood coin collections. Because the next million-dollar penny might not be in a museum. It might be in your home, waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and drop a comment below if you've ever found something unusual in your change. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and good luck. Let me know if you'd like a version formatted for teleprompter use, with video editing cues, or help with title ideas, thumbnail text, or YouTube SEO tags for this video. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins. Rarest Coins. Today's video is about a coin that almost everyone has come across. It's small, it's copper, and it might just be hiding in your change jar right now. We're talking about the 1977 Lincoln penny. Now, before you shrug it off as just another common cent, you need to hear this. One extremely rare version of the 1977 Lincoln penny has been reported to have sold for a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. That's right, a penny. 1 cent sold for more than most people's homes. So what exactly makes the 1977 penny so special? What should you be looking for? And how can you tell if the penny in your hand is just another coin or a once-in-a-lifetime treasure? Let's find out. First, let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. In 1959, the reverse of the coin was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, and that design stayed in place until 2008. Now, fast forward to 1977. The U.S. Mint was still producing Lincoln cents using a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. These coins weighed about 3.11 grams. In that year, more than 4.4 billion pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and over 4.2 billion were produced at the Denver Mint. which can be identified by the small D mint mark under the date.so with more than 8,1977 pennies made. How can any of them be worth more than $1 million? The answer lies in something most people never think about: mint errors and planchet mistakes. While billions of regular pennies were struck, just a few rare ones were created by accident. These are the coins that collectors dream about. One mistake during the minting process can turn an ordinary penny into a multi-million-dollar piece of American history. The most famous and valuable example is a 1977 Lincoln penny that was struck on a 95% gold planchet. Yes, gold. This was never supposed to happen. A gold blank, possibly intended for a foreign coin or special production, somehow made its way into the Lincoln cent press. What came out was a coin that looked like a regular penny but had a bright gold shine, was heavier than usual, and completely unique. The coin was authenticated by a top-tier grading service, its origin verified, and after fierce private bidding, it was reportedly sold for around $1.4 million. That sale shocked even the most experienced coin dealers and sparked a new wave of interest in 1977 pennies. But that's not the only valuable version out there. There are other rare mint errors you can look for. One of the most popular is the double die obverse. This is when the die that stamps the front of the coin is engraved twice, creating a visible doubling effect on the inscriptions. On the 1977 penny, look closely at the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." If the letters appear thick, shadowed, or show signs of doubling, you might have a valuable error on your hands. Another version is the off-center strike. If a penny was not properly aligned when struck, the image might appear off-center. The more dramatic the misalignment, the higher the value, especially if the date is still clearly visible. There are also known cases of pennies struck on the wrong planchets. For example, a few 1977 Lincoln cents have been found struck on dime planchets. These are silver-colored and weigh less than a normal penny. Others may have been struck on foreign coin blanks. Anytime a penny looks different in color or weight, that's a major clue it might be worth a second look. So how can you tell if your 1977 penny is special? Start by weighing it. A normal 1977 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's lighter or heavier, it may have been struck on the wrong planchet. Next, check the color. Is it silver? Is it gold? Is it dull or oddly shiny compared to other pennies? If it doesn't look like copper, that's a strong sign something's off. Then, inspect the text. Use a magnifying glass or coin loupe to look at the word "Liberty," the motto "In God We Trust," and the date. If you see any signs of doubling, distortion, or ghost-like letters, you could be looking at a double die. Also examine the shape of the coin. If it's off-center or missing part of the design, it may be an error coin that's worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And here's one more thing. Never clean your coin. It might seem like a good idea to shine it up, but cleaning a rare coin can destroy its value. Collectors and grading services want to see the original surface, even if it's dirty or worn. If you think you have something rare, the next step is to have it evaluated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate the coin, confirm the error, and assign it a grade. That grade plays a huge role in determining how much your coin could sell for at auction or through private sale. So to wrap it all up, most 1977 pennies are worth face value, but a small number of them, thanks to minting errors, wrong planchets, and incredibly rare one-of-a-kind mistakes, can be worth thousands, even millions. The one struck on a gold planchet is the crown jewel, selling for a staggering $1.4 million. And here's the amazing part. That coin probably passed through someone's hands like it was nothing. It might have sat in a coin jar for years. It might have been tossed aside until someone paid attention and realized they had found something extraordinary. So go check your change. Dig through that jar. Look at the coins in your wallet. Because the next $1 million penny might not be in a museum. It might be in your house, right now, waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting or helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and leave a comment if you've ever come across a strange or unusual penny. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and good luck. Would you like a version with scene cues, thumbnail title ideas, or help with tags and SEO for YouTube? I can help you get the full package ready to post. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket change right now. The 1980 Lincoln penny. It looks like any other copper-colored cent you've seen 1,000 times before. But here's the kicker. Some versions of this seemingly ordinary coin have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. and one ultra-rare variant has an estimated value of up to $1.2 million. Yeah, you heard that right. 1.2 million. Before you go digging through your old change jar, let's break down the story of the 1980 Lincoln penny, where it came from, what makes it special, and most importantly, what you need to look for to know if you've got a rare and valuable piece of numismatic history on your hands. First, a little backstory. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It replaced the Indian head cent and was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. The design was the work of Victor David Brenner, a sculptor and engraver who placed his initials, VB, on the coin's reverse. That caused a bit of controversy at the time, but we'll save that for another video. Fast forward to 1980. America was going through economic challenges, inflation was rising, and the cost of producing coins was under constant scrutiny. But despite all the changes, the Lincoln penny stayed strong. In fact, in 1980, the U.S. Mint struck billions of these coins, over 7.4 billion from Philadelphia and another 5.1 billion from Denver. That's a total of more than 12 billion pennies. So how on earth can one of them be worth over $1 million? Well, not all 1980 Lincoln cents are created equal. While most are only worth face value, a handful of rare varieties and mint errors have fetched jaw-dropping prices at auctions and among collectors. These are the coins you should be keeping an eye out for. Let's start with the basics. There are two main mint marks to look for: no mint mark, which means it was struck in Philadelphia, and a small D mint mark, which stands for Denver. Now, a standard 1980 penny in circulated condition? It's still worth 1 cent. Even in uncirculated condition, most of these coins are worth between 10 and 30 cents. But here's where things get interesting. Enter the world of error coins. Error coins are mistakes that happen during the minting process. These mistakes can be as simple as an off-center strike or as dramatic as a double die, where the design is stamped twice. And when it comes to the 1980 Lincoln penny, there are a few error varieties that are worth big money. One of the most famous is the double die obverse. That's when the front of the coin, the side with Lincoln's portrait, is struck twice, slightly misaligned. This creates a ghost-like doubling effect, especially visible on the word liberty, the date, and the motto "In God We Trust." Collectors go absolutely crazy for these because they're extremely rare and visually striking. A well-preserved double die obverse from 1980 can sell for thousands of dollars, sometimes even tens of thousands if the condition is pristine. Then there are off-center strikes. If the coin wasn't properly aligned in the press, it could end up with part of the design missing or shifted off to the side. These coins are one of a kind, and the more dramatic the error, the more valuable it is. A 1980 penny that's 50% off-center with a clear date can be worth hundreds or more. Another rare and extremely valuable error is the mule coin. That's when two mismatched coin dies are used to strike a single coin, for example, a penny struck with a dime reverse or a wrong planchet coin, meaning the penny was struck on the wrong metal. These are incredibly rare and are the kind of coins that can hit six-figure values if authenticated. Now let's talk about the crown jewel. The holy grail of 1980 pennies. This is a one-of-a-kind piece, a 1980 Lincoln cent that was accidentally struck on a gold planchet. This happened when a blank intended for a foreign gold coin somehow made its way into the U.S. Mint's production line and ended up with the Lincoln penny design on it. The coin was authenticated by a top grading service and sold through a private collector's auction for a staggering $1.2 million. Yes, one little penny. $1.2 million. It's the stuff of legend. And while you probably won't find that exact coin in your pocket, it goes to show how incredible the world of coin collecting can be. Coins like this remind us that even the smallest details can make a huge difference in value. So what should you do next? First, check your change. Look at every 1980 penny you come across. Grab a magnifying glass and examine the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" for signs of doubling. Check to see if the strike looks off-center or unusual. Look at the color and weight. If it looks or feels different, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. And if you think you've found something rare, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Getting your coin authenticated is the first step to unlocking its true value. To wrap this up, the 1980 Lincoln penny is a fascinating piece of American history. Most are only worth face value, but the rare ones? They can be worth a small fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's always worth keeping an eye out for that one special coin. Because you never know, the next $1 million penny might just be hiding in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button Subscribe for more coin stories and collector tips. And let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny in your change. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Would you like a version of this formatted for a teleprompter, or with suggested video cuts and B-roll ideas? Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Rarest Coins. Today, we're going deep into the world of rare coins and shining the spotlight on a penny that most people overlook, the 1968 Lincoln cent. At first glance, it looks like any other penny. It's small. It's copper. It's familiar. But here's the twist. Some versions of the 1968 penny have been known to sell for thousands of dollars. And one ultra-rare variant is estimated to be worth as much as $1.5 million. You might be asking yourself, how can a penny be worth more than a Ferrari or even a house? The answer lies in the history, the mintage numbers, and the rare mistakes that slip through the U.S. Mint and into circulation. Today, we'll break it all down: what the 1968 penny is, where it came from, what makes certain versions valuable, and how you might be holding a fortune without even knowing it. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American pocket change since 1909. It was created to honor Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny replaced the Indian head cent and brought a whole new look to U.S. currency. By 1968, the Lincoln penny had already been circulating for nearly 60 years. But the country was going through changes. The economy was shifting. The cost of producing coins was rising. The Mint had stopped using silver in dimes and quarters just a few years earlier, and the Denver Mint had taken over most of the production for small coins after the Philadelphia Mint stopped using mint marks in 1965. In 1968, there were three versions of the Lincoln penny produced: one with no mint mark, struck in Philadelphia; one with a D mint mark, struck in Denver; and a third one with an S mint mark, struck in San Francisco. Here's what's interesting: the 1968 Lincoln penny was struck only as a proof coin, which means it wasn't meant for circulation. It was made specifically for collectors. These coins were struck on special dies, polished to a mirror finish, and packaged in proof sets. Now let's talk numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 1 billion Lincoln cents in 1968. The Denver Mint struck over 2.5 billion. The San Francisco Mint, on the other hand, made just over 3 million proof coins. So already, you have some coins that are significantly rarer than others, but rarity alone doesn't make a penny worth millions. What does? Mint errors, rare varieties, historical oddities, and sometimes sheer luck. One of the most sought-after versions of the 1968 penny is the 1968 double die obverse proof penny. This is a coin where the front design was accidentally stamped twice, slightly misaligned. That tiny mistake created visible doubling on the inscriptions: Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date. For collectors, this kind of doubling is pure gold. It's dramatic, it's rare, and it's completely unmistakable. The doubling on the 1968 proof is bold enough that you can see it without a microscope. These coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction, and high-grade examples continue to climb in value. But that's just the beginning. There are also known off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, and even transitional planchet errors where the coin was struck on leftover blanks from a previous year. These kinds of mistakes happen when blank metal discs from the wrong batch slip into the press and get struck with the Lincoln penny design. It's extremely rare, but it does happen. And when it does, it creates a coin that can be worth tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now here's where things get really crazy. There is a known case of a 1968 Lincoln penny that was struck on a gold planchet. Yes, a blank mint for a gold coin. This was not supposed to happen. It's likely that the gold blank was intended for a commemorative coin or possibly a foreign contract, and somehow it ended up in the penny production line. The result was a one-of-a-kind mistake that became a collector's dream. This coin was authenticated by a leading grading service, confirmed to be struck in 1968, and sold through a private auction for an estimated $1.5 million. That is the kind of discovery that changes someone's life. One small copper-looking penny struck in error, with a backstory of mystery and minting madness. Worth more than a sports car. Worth more than a college education. Worth more than what most people would ever expect from a coin that's supposed to be worth just 1 cent. So what can you do? The first thing is this: check your change. Look closely at every 1968 penny you come across. If it has an S mint mark and looks especially shiny, it could be a proof coin. If you see any strange doubling in the text, or if it feels unusually heavy or light, you could be looking at a rare variety or a mint error. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loupe. Look for signs of doubling on the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Examine the date and check the back of the coin. Sometimes doubling shows up on the word United or on the Lincoln Memorial itself. If you find something that looks unusual, don't clean it. Don't try to fix it. Just keep it safe and take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it, grade it, and help you find out what it's really worth. To wrap it up, the 1968 Lincoln penny is more than just pocket change. It's a symbol of American history, a canvas for rare minting mistakes, and a potential goldmine for collectors. Most of them are only worth face value, but a select few are worth thousands, and one of them, under the right conditions, can hit the $1 million mark. So the next time you find a 1968 penny in your drawer or in your loose change, don't ignore it. That one little coin could be hiding a fortune. You just have to know what to look for. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more hidden coin treasures and collector stories. And drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or think you might be holding on to something valuable. Until next time, keep searching and good luck out there. Let me know if you want me to break this into sections with voice cues, video suggestions, or create a thumbnail title for your video.